tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Tried acting up, stay born to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and up, stay bored to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run.
Love you, boys. Let's do it. Yo, what is up, 24/7 Buff Pandemonium? It's your boy Swank, and here we are on a Tuesday night. It's 8:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It looks like an eclipse outside. I don't know if that's too soon for missing out on that with the clouds. All right, never mind. Listen, tonight we have a great show for you guys, man. Jerry, unfortunately, is sick, but we took care of you guys. We got one of the best voices in the game, Mr. Ryan Thomas, sitting on the panel. We're going to do our mock draft, so we're going to run through that. We want you guys to help us out with the decisions that we're going to make for the Buffalo Bills tonight. That's going to be super fun. We're going to spin the wheel of destiny and give away a little social media prize if you tagged anybody on our FLX Mafia page. We got Bills news. I mean, let's just run this intro, and we're going to get right into it. Here we are, and here it is on a beautiful Tuesday night, live from the Buff FamBase Network. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the K-Gun Report, Episode 6, Season 5, Episode 6, boys. Doing a mock draft tonight. Right below me, our special guest for the evening. You know him, you love him. He's already made 2 appearances this season. Running for most appearances, Season 5, frontrunner right now, the most beautiful voice in Bills podcasting, Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Take Sports podcast. What's up, RT?
What's going on, Swank? What's going on, Scott? Good to be back on the 24/7 Buffalo Pandemonium's K-Gun Report.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to what's in store for tonight. Got a good program, folks.
It's a nice program. We've packaged up a nice little program for you guys tonight.
Good little program. I love that.
That's sweet, dude. Right next to me, right over here, my brother from another mother. Not quite twins, but a distant triplet. Scooter Magooter. Scott, what do you got?
You know, the program doesn't write itself unless
The
there's a
program.
big trade, a big signing, and a mock draft coming up. I mean, it's basically we can sit back and just enjoy the ride. It's like Swank said, it's a mock draft day, and we're actually counting on the fans, you guys that tune in, to help us pick our picks. We'll take everything in consideration, and we're going to try to make our Bills the best Bills team we've ever had. And then we'll send it all to Brandon Bean, obviously, at the end of the day to see what he says. But that's what's going on. What's up, Swank? What's up, RT? Fan base, Bills Mafia. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. You got Bean's DM or something? Is that what's going on?
He's been blowing up my phone.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been blowing up my phone all
He's
week,
like,
asking what he
Scooter.
should be doing.
Scooter, how much should I give up?
I was gonna text him and give him a little pitching mechanics advice. He threw out the first pitch at the Buffalo Bison's game. It was a little low on outside. I could help him with that.
I mean, that would have been a bomb, right? Like low and outside. That's where those
Low and
guys
outside,
want it.
especially for a lefty like me. 320.
What's he
over the
dropping his
fence.
shoulder or something? What's he doing?
It was a little too much follow through.
Yeah, okay.
Like the follow through was almost not all connected. You know, they talk about that with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Not a nice flow. It's like the rise, the high. He had a real high rise. I don't know if he tried to imitate Cy Young. I'm not quite sure, but came up a little short. From
I
the
think he
mound.
was just trying to burn it, trying to throw it too damn hard. And that's what happened.
You know, who threw a nice first pitch? Josh Allen.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Guy let it rip.
Guy, he drops bombs in softball tournaments too. I mean, he's just Mr. Athlete. I mean, is there anything you can't do, really? I mean, dates movie stars.
Threw a first pitch at the Bison's game, and then he threw a first pitch at the Blue Jays game. And the Blue Jays game was his best, but unfortunately, I thought his Yankees first pitch was even better, which for me, it was hard to see him in a Yankees jersey, but I get it. You know?
I mean, was the Yankees pitch the third pitch? I mean, that he's obviously had time to adjust to the crowd. And
no, that was the second. That was the
Okay.
second. Yeah, that was the second one.
All right, less pressure still.
Less pressure. Yeah.
All right, guys, as this is the K-Gun Report, we talk about football, but sometimes we slide a little bit of celebrity first pitches in here. You get anything and everything at the K-Gun Report. Listen, we got some peeps in the comments. Mr. Corey Blaine saying, let's go Bills. What's up, Corey? We got Cookie saying, what is my dudes? I think he meant what is up, my dudes, but I'm going to let him slide because I love Cookie. What's up, brother?
Cookie.
We got Chris Christians. Hey. We got Uncle James. What's up, Mafia?
Well, Swank, it's what it is, my dudes. That's what
Is that what
he's
it says?
saying.
What it is, my dude.
Oh, it
What
is.
it
My
is.
bad. My bad, Cookie. My bad. I've started my reading juice here. Let's see here. We got Patrick Hughes. Sorry I missed last week, but I am back. So, Mafia, what do you want to talk about and get to cracking? Hell yeah, man. Everything summed up in one statement. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Patrick?
Yeah.
The amazing Paulette Brown. Good evening, everybody. My Mafia family. Let's go Buffalo. Hey, and a bunch of sweet emojis. What's up, Paulette? We got Keely with the Go Bills. We got John Johns with the Go Bills. Doug says he survived the eclipse and made it to Tuesday. What's up, fam? Hell yeah, brother. The amazingly beautiful Ellen Lartz. What's good, Mafia family? What's up, Ellen? Let's see. Patrick says, nice hat, Swank. I almost missed it. Camo. That was a good one, dude.
It's like a floating, standing buffalo. We didn't even know he was wearing a hat.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit about hats before we went live because Scooter's got a first on right now. It's pretty slick looking. Yeah, he's not a red hat guy. Yeah. I like that. The Charger with the red. That's nice and freshy. This one is like my favorite one. And it got crushed in my car when I was loading it up for a show and didn't notice. So it was flat and it was full of sweat and gross. And I bought one of those plastic hat cages. You guys know about these?
Yes, those are huge.
Amazing. You put your
It
hat
works?
in it. Dude, you put your hat in it. You clip it in. Put it in your dishwasher on delicate and just run a little dishwasher pod thing through it. I've done every single one of my hats. They look brand new. It's amazing. So
Thank goodness you told me dishwasher because it's sitting right above my washer and dryer right now, ready to go in. One of my favorite blue hats. Okay.
don't. They say like
Dishwasher.
the agitator in the dishwasher or in the washing machine screws it all up. But it's something about the dishwasher detergent pod. And this is just this is what you get with the K-Gun, man. Nice, helpful little hints for your hat.
Some good housekeeping.
Save your
Yeah,
hats.
dude. Save your hats. Save the hats, man. If you sweat like a crazy moron and you wear a bunch of hats all the time, especially while you're playing shows and jump around like a maniac, I get that white, crusty ocean salt band around my head. So, yeah, clean them all up. It's a beautiful thing. Check her out. Jamie's getting right to it. He wants to know who we're drafting. We're getting to it, dude. We're getting there, brother. Let's see. We got Birdo. Birdo, dude. This is like, I think, literally 6 episodes in a row for you, dude. I love it, man. I love it so much. Chris Christian says we're drafting Uncle Rico. We could throw that ball all the way over those mountains.
We already had Uncle Rico, though.
That's true, dude. that
was a fun year. Oh my god, that was something.
That was like a fun half a season.
Yes, was it 2014?
Yeah. You're talking about Orton, right?
Kyle Orton.
Yeah, Orton. Yeah.
There was that like him when they came back and beat the Vikings. Was that game?
Mm-hmm. Last second touchdown.
Yeah. Sammy Watkins, I think, right in the back of the
Sammy Watkins. Yeah.
There was like video of him. Well, dude, it was like one of the most fun.
It was a great drive. I mean, it was awesome.
All was lost. We had Kyle Orton, and he had like an old man snap a genius for like a 4 or 5 game streak. And I just remember. Do you guys remember that video of him on the sideline talking about like you could see him? You couldn't hear what he was saying, but he was telling somebody about like the extra point, and he's like directing it with his hand, all excited, like. Super fun, dude.
It was great.
We got to do a ranking of the best drought moments, I think.
Oh yeah,
like top 15 or something.
Definitely.
Franklin, dude, I was just talking to Scott right before we went on. I am gonna get your shirt. I'm sorry, it's been crazy busy. I'll send that out to you, my brother. Ellen says she wants a wide receiver. Hell yeah. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Paulette, hi Ryan, what's up?
What's up, Paulette?
Let's see. We got Dr. Bruce McKellar. Dr. Bruce, the doctor is in, man. If you go over to 247buffpandemonium.com/blogs, you can see the injury report by Mr. Dr. Bruce McKellar and all sorts of great stuff over there. If you go there, also, you'll see some great draft profile write-ups by none other than our own Scooter Magooter right over here. He's been killing it on those. So go check it out. Doug says,
having a lot of fun at it. Fortunately, Brandon Bean is forcing a hand, so you're going to see a lot more wide receiver draft profiles than anything else.
Yeah,
let's give the people what they want, man.
It's a fun draft for Bills fans for a lot of reasons.
Patrick Hughes says, Ryan, give Bean some slack. His arm is sore from all the paperwork he's doing this off season so far.
Whether it's signing Leo Collins, maybe Leo Collins put him in like a head and arm choke or something like that, wrestling move. Fractured the shoulder. Man, that guy is a monster. Monster.
Let's see. We got 716 Sports Blizzard. Is that Robbie?
Yeah, they got a new podcast coming out. 716 Sports Blizzard, him and Robin Mundo.
Nice. Well, that leads me to we are part of the Buff FamBase Network. This dude right here below us also has a program on that network. Go check out everything. Follow them. As part of that, we are sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money. Del Reed and the gang got
because of the dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
Well, and I mean, so then I says, yeah, right. My computer's going to crash on me in the middle of the kid. Go, hey, everybody, what's up? Yo, you guys getting any lightning over where you are? Oh, well, I am, and it just fried my little USB hub that had everything. So, guys, thanks for sticking around here. We got 1,100 people hanging hard. So, appreciate you guys. Let me make sure that, can you guys let me know if you can hear us and see us and everything's hunky-dory? That would be just amazing. And thanks, Paulette. It's great to be back. But somebody said I got traded. I want to know. Oh, there it is. Patrick Hughes, Scott Reed, did you guys trade away Derelict Swank? Maybe. Oh, hell yeah. I hear and see y'all. Thank you, Paulette. All right, guys. I think we're good. I think we're good to go. Sorry about that little interruption. I'm glad that we got back on it, though. So what were you guys talking about? Yeah, but nobody could hear it because all the audio goes through my board. So nice. Yeah, hey, in case you didn't know, we're sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Del Reed and the gang got all the greatest stuff going on. You can get some hot threads and help out a family in Western New York. What is better than that? Give them all your money. 26shirts.com. Let's see. Oh, Swank, I can hear you, but can't hear Ryan or Scott. Only hear me now. All right. Goodness. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second here now. Sorry, guys, here. All right, we're just going to pop off again real quick, and we'll be right back.
No, I can't hear Scott now.
You can hear me.
Oh, I
That's
can
just
hear you.
it on me.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey,
You can hear
kiddos,
me?
what do you think? We there? Hey.
I can
Hey,
hear you.
Hey, gotcha.
Hey. We should be good now, guys. Let us know in the comments.
Good to go. Take 3.
Hell yeah. So what happened is I think that lightning bolt came through the surge and it fried that USB thing, which disconnected my camera and the board that I run all the audio through. So then when I came back and it reset, it was picking up all the audio off of my camera and not the board.
Oh,
So,
boy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Everybody says they can hear us. We're all back. Crisis averted. Holy shit. What is up, everybody? You know what? What do you think, RT? Go ahead.
I don't know if that was a lightning bolt. Maybe Josh Allen was hurtling some satellites up in space.
He could have been.
Could have been it.
Could have been.
Oh, I love those pictures.
You know what we should do is just give something away. What do you think?
Yep.
Yeah,
Might as well
give
spin
something
that Pandemonium Wheel of Destiny.
Hell yeah, let's do that. I mean, Spartan's here, so.
This is Sparta.
Nice get, dude. Nice get. All right.
Spin the wheel.
Why don't you tell them what's up with this here spin, Scott?
Yeah, so us here at 24/7 Buff Pandemonium, we have a sister page just trying to bring the family together in the Finger Lakes area. There's a big Buffalo Bills presence in the Finger Lakes area, and we have nothing to other than obviously the Bills Mafia to represent our area that we celebrate the Bills. So we're trying to bring more people to the Finger Lakes FLX Mafia sister page. We do have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter page, and an Instagram page. And so we put out a thing. You tag 3 people on the post, you'll be entered to win a chance. You'll be entered to win the Finger Lakes Mafia shirt at our store. It could be the tie-dye or it could be the regular blue red. We have a bunch of colors, t-shirts, whatever. Finger Lakes Mafia merch. at 247buffpandemonium.com/store. You go there. If you win, pick out something you like. Let us know what it is, a size, and your address, and we'll get one for you and send it out. Thank you. We got on our Facebook page, we got over 100 new followers. And on Insta and Twitter, I believe we have about 50 total added to there. So you guys kicked ass in that. We appreciate
Nice.
it.
Yeah, we'll be doing that a little more regular, so keep your eye out on our socials for that. Let me just get the official theme music for the Wheel of Death. And here we go.
Spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel.
What if Franklin gets it again? Is he on this?
I know, right?
Jennifer
wheel
Barlow.
Yes.
Jennifer Barlow. Congratulations. Thank you so much for spreading the FLX Mafia love. And don't forget, you can follow us on all damn socials. And, you know, we probably do this kind of thing more often than not. Congratulations. Just text us your address and we'll get it out to you. All right. All right. Cool.
Congratulations, Jennifer. And thank you for the support for sure.
Hell yeah. All right. We got some news that has happened since the last time we were all together here. There was this little thing that happened. Our number one wide receiver got traded away to the Houston Texans. Yes, this happened right after we were on the air, like the next day, I believe. Wasn't it Wednesday that it happened?
I believe so.
And so we didn't get a chance to touch on it. I don't want to spend a whole hell of a lot of time on this. What's going on, RT? Are you okay?
He's not frozen. I think this is the first RT is hearing about it.
Oh, my God. Really?
Our number one wide receiver, Curtis Samuel, they just signed him.
Shakir? No.
Shakir?
No.
The best fifth-round rookie in recent memory?
Yeah.
Dude, your face was like that. And I was like, what are you reading right now? What's going on? What's on Twitter? Who's leaving? Tell me that those Giants
I
idiots.
had to just
I went there for a
play it
second as
up.
well. So
I had to play it up, you know.
It was good acting, man. I liked it.
Good acting.
Real quick, let's go around the panel. RT, I'm going to start with you. Give me your 2-minute hot take on this trade.
2-minute hot take. Originally, you know, I was recording Wednesday morning as it happened. I was in the middle of doing a mock draft, and then I got the news on my phone, as we all do these days. And I was a little bit frustrated with the trade originally. I was shocked by it. I think a lot of people were shocked, those that thought this could happen, thought that it would happen probably in February, but it happened in, you know, what, April 2nd, April 3rd, something like that last week. So, you know, the salary cap, they're willing to take on that dead cap hit. I think that speaks volumes as to why this actually happened. They're so willing to take on that dead cap hit because of the rumblings in Buffalo that we've heard for the better part of the last 3 years, that Stephon Diggs didn't want to be here, that there was some friction between Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. And I think Josh Allen and the Bills are in this phase where they're more willing to part ways with players. They've proven that this offseason with some of the guys that they let go of defensively. So, you know, no distractions are necessary for any team, let alone a team that's trying to get over that proverbial hump and get back to an AFC championship, potentially Super Bowl, of course. And it was the right thing to do. I really do believe that it was the only decision that needed to be made. If, you know, it went down the way that I've heard, where Diggs went to the brass and said that he wanted out. You know, I mentioned this off the air to you guys. It's almost like anytime a player, you know, says anything disparaging about Buffalo, Willis McGahee, anytime, you know, a player lets the world know that he doesn't want to be a part of Buffalo, Jack Eichel, he's gone. And that's one thing that I really respect about the Buffalo Bills and Sabres, is that, you know, if there's players that don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. There's other places you can go. I want players that want to be here. I want players that want to help Josh Allen win. So I hope that we're able to bring in some hungry young rookie players, whether they're wide receivers or whatever position they decide to draft, first round and beyond. I know that there'll be guys that want to be here and that are a part of the process moving forward.
Very well said, man. Great take. Scoot Magoo, we're getting all sorts of opinions here in the comments, and I kind of like. I mean, it feels like this has been talked about to death right? And it's almost like what the 7 stages of grief, right, or something. Like you go through all these like, well, no, and yeah, no, well, screw them, and whatever else. We're at acceptance now, so I'm seeing a lot of like very calculated, like thoughtful kind of responses in the comments, which is very cool, and also a lot of like we're moving on and whatever kind of thing. So where are you at with this, man? 2-minute hot take, get it.
Swank, I'm glad you said it exactly like that. With all those emotions going on, a therapist is a great situation to be in. And I believe that our Bills content creators, the ones that I follow, especially, I follow them. I get information. I use my own thoughts and put pieces together. And I think that's what's helped me get over this situation more and more. Too many times, and RT, and you can attest to this on the Sunday sessions, an hour and a half before the games would start, we kind of would will stats for Stephon Diggs. So he's going to have a 100-yard game with 2 touchdowns. And I think that kind of blinded a lot of fans and even us to think that he's still doing better than what we thought he was doing. 45 yards a game, didn't have a 100-yard game after week 6, scored 1 touchdown in the past 8 weeks. Those numbers are staggering for wide receiver number 1. And if you were to say, well, he was being double teamed, there's plenty of good offensive teams that have a wide receiver number 1 that's getting double teamed that still can put up big numbers. So I think it was time. I think after I gave myself 36 hours, after leaning on my content creators from all over and developing a theory and helping me get over this Diggs thing, I think it made me realize it was time to get rid of Diggs. The drama, him not wanting to be there, what potentially could happen with him restructuring, potentially denying the reconstruction, and that's why he wanted out. Who knows what happened? But we had a wide receiver number 1 position that no longer had a wide receiver number 1 talent, as far as I'm concerned.
Or impact. Yeah.
Or impact. Yeah.
Right.
The impact wasn't there. So to make a long story short, the Buffalo Bills got a 2nd round pick next year for a temporary player in Houston, because Houston right now only has him for 1 year at a $22 million hit. So I think Bean had to do something quick, and he did what was best for the Buffalo Bills, as he stressed during his press conference. And the question is, are the Buffalo Bills a better team now that he's gone? Not right now, but that's because we have a wide receiver number 1 hole. After the draft, we will be a better team.
I think it's really interesting how, like, there's a lot of talk in the comments about like national sports pundits and, other teams like content creators and all this stuff. And I kind of wonder now what they're going to hold on to now that Diggs is gone from Buffalo. So they're going to have to pick something else to like try to, rattle Buffalonians' cages about and piss the mafia off and poke them with a stick or whatever they do. To me, there's a couple things that I landed on. I saw Patrick wasn't happy with what we got in a trade. I agree. At first, I was like, what? I also think that he went in there and, after the tweet that he made about Josh, that was all passive aggressive, and all the other stuff that he's done has been passive aggressive, and training camp and all this and that. And then the news with him telling the locker room that, they couldn't beat Kansas City, and then that big drop and all this stuff. I think that either, Scott had a good theory about this. Either they asked him to restructure to help the team and he told them no and to trade him, or he just walked in there and said he wanted to be traded.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah. Could be both.
Either of those scenarios, fine. And I think what Brandon Beane did was say, okay. And he called them up and he took what they offered and he's gone.
Swank and RT, what after March 17th, his contract was guaranteed. So something happened dramatically between March 17th and the day he was traded.
Right.
Some unexpected. So whether it was a restructure option, whether it was a denial of a restructure, and they just clashed somewhere to where Bean had to say, I got to do something and do something now because the draft is coming up in a month.
It was clearly, I think, more than anything, the whole situation was devolving as the offseason progressed, and Brandon Beane said, we got a lot of work to do here, and for lack of a better term, I don't want to deal with this situation while I have a lot of work to do, because it's a huge distraction, clearly, not just to our team, but to our fans and the perception of the team nationally, as this was a topic that was talked about, debated for years and years and years on end. Is Stephon Diggs happy? We had to have that question hanging over our heads as fans and content creators for years. So finally that can be put to bed. We don't have to ask that question anymore because Stephon Diggs isn't on the team. Now, Houston Texans fans, they can ask themselves, week 5, week 6, Stephon Diggs is not a wide receiver 1 on the Houston Texans. He's a collection of wide receivers that they already have. What is he going to do when Nico Collins has 12 catches and Diggs has 3? That's
exactly.
when Houston Texans are going to find out what type of receiver they have. And I hate to, put that connotation to it, but we dealt with that for years and years and years. And, I think this is a phase of Josh Allen's career. You could say this is like the start of the second half of Josh Allen's career, where they don't want these distractions. They want young, hungry players, knowing that they're paying them $40+ million, that can come in, be hungry, and want to be here and want to play with Josh Allen. I don't know who wouldn't. And then I say that, and then I say, well, apparently Stephon Diggs did. So see ya. It is what it is.
Yeah. That's that. I mean,
And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Bruce Nolan.
I've heard and seen so much about this that, like, I'm over it. I'm where I'm at is, like, I think the reason Bean took that second for next year was because all that does is, like, solidifies we're moving up in the draft to get that wide receiver, or we're packaging a huge pick lot to trade for a number 1 like Ayuk, or CeeDee Lamb is rumored to be holding out. There's a lot of big number named wide receivers that could possibly be trade candidates, and there's a huge list of wide receivers in this draft. There's any way that this could shake out. Now, I don't want Bills Mafia to get their hopes up the way they have so many drafts previous for the last 25 years, thinking that we're going to get every number 1 at every position group going into this draft. But I think that there is a solid chance that we're going to find that answer and then provide some solid depth underneath it. And you're going to see a new look offense that might not have to rely so much on a 31-year-old fading star. That's it.
And to put it in perspective, with that second round pick, potentially it's going to be between 35 and 40. Bills have been drafting 28, 27, all that the last couple of years. It's almost like a little bit of an extension of a first round draft pick. 10 picks out. Seriously, it's just 10 picks out from a first round. So I think Bean obviously knows what he's doing. And then that early of a second round draft pick for next year, that's a high pick. It really is.
That trade also looked a whole lot better once the Texans side of things came out, where they restructured everything, gave him his money, took the years off. It looks worse for the Texans right now than the Bills, I think.
Yep.
What were you going to say, RT?
Oh yeah, and to kind of piggyback off of that, Houston looks at it as, we bring him in for a year, we're paying CJ Stroud nothing. He's on a rookie contract, so it's kind of the opposite situation cap-wise to Buffalo. They bring Diggs in for $22 million for 1 year. He does great for them, but he'll want more money, even at 31, 32. And they could either say thanks, but no thanks, or they could go back to the negotiating table and bring him back, whatever they decide to do. I tend to think that this is a 1-year deal. I think Stephon Diggs was more than willing to say, I want to bet on myself for 1 year, try to prove that I can win anywhere, be a statistical wide receiver 1 proverbially, and then be a free agent and choose wherever I'm going to go. And something came out shortly after Diggs was traded that he demanded the trade, and that Buffalo said, well, we'll trade you, but we're not trading you to Kansas City. So don't be shocked at this time next year if all 3 of us are on this show and Stephon Diggs is a Kansas City Chief. I know I won't be. I'm just saying it. I'm just throwing it out there. I once I heard that, I was like, okay, that tells you, guy that said that we couldn't beat KC, but the team that he potentially could be on if he works his magic is KC. That tells you the leadership or lack thereof that guy had. And we don't want that. We just don't. We don't want that. I don't want that. You guys don't want that. I could speak for everybody and say we want people that want to be here.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm okay with him going to KC next year.
But by that point, I'll be 32.
I'm fine.
And, which receiver on KC is going to get arrested from now until then? It's Tyreek Hill, Rashee Rice, Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman better stay inside.
Yeah.
He better
Lock it
just
down.
chill out, play some Uno,
I
just
think
hang out.
I'm with Josh Cook on this because I didn't even think about the Chiefs thing. That's a sweet take.
Mhm.
Josh says he sees him ending up in Dallas in 25. I'm right there. I think that a long time goal of him has been to play with his brother, and I think that potentially next year Houston's that close to Dallas, he could sign a couple-year deal that
Oh, yeah.
would give him
He'd
stupid
rather
money.
play with C.J. Stroud and Dak Prescott than Josh Allen.
I know.
Make
Nuts.
that make sense.
I can't.
I just
Tells you where his
can't.
judgment is. Like tells you what kind of dude, like where his mind frame is. He's
Mhm.
further away from the Super Bowl. Like we're talking about, like we're not as good as we were before we traded him away. Okay, those teams aren't any closer to being in the Super Bowl or in the play. Like he's worse off by far, like on the Texans, I think, than he would have been on the Bills. And I like the
agree.
Texans. I like what they're
I'm
doing.
gonna have my popcorn ready. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Dalton Schultz are gonna take a lot of touches away from him. So just get your popcorn ready. Yeah, and just hang out, eat your popcorn, and watch him implode.
Hell yeah. Real quick, we did also sign a little OT depth, Mr. Lyle Collins. I think it's a solid pickup. I think he provides some much needed depth on that O-line. Anybody that can help protect Josh Allen, I'm there. I think, he's an aging veteran, but he's had a good career, and I'm stoked on this. What do you think, Ryan?
I love it. I remember he had visited with the Bills at some point last year, and there were rumblings that they were going to sign him late last season. But ultimately, I think somebody was coming back from an injury that came back and continued to play. I can't think of who that would have been at that time, but they decided to wait, and bringing him in now. I've always liked him. He's got 86 career starts under his belt from Dallas to Cincinnati, and was a true pro, and is a true pro. So he seems really excited to be here. I saw the video that he had posted with his daughter. He said, "Let's go Bills Mafia," and then she said it too. And that's the stuff that what Buffalo's about. That's the stuff that brings a smile to my face. Lets us know that he's invested. He wants to be here, and he's excited to bring his family here for a fun ride this year.
Mm-hmm. You've also lost a significant amount of captains and solid veterans in the league in that locker room, and I think bringing in a guy like this kind of solidifies that for some of these younger guys that are there. Scott, what do you think?
Yep, a solid, big guy, 6'4", 320 pounds. He could play tackle. He could play guard. So it'll be interesting. We know the Bills like guys that can bounce around a little bit and fill holes where they need. He signed a pretty good contract of $6 million. So I think David Edwards is going to get a run for his money in this offseason. Big guy. This offensive line depth and maybe even starting offensive line has gotten better just with him here. I know he had all year off year last year, but the potential's there.
Definitely. And I think he, obviously with that year off, he's healthier now than he's ever been. He's not on that wear and tear, ride that he was on, playing all those snaps in Cincinnati and Dallas. But left guard, I see left guard, him standing next to Deion Dawkins. That'd be good for James Cook. That'd be good for Josh Allen.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. That pretty much seals up our Bills news here. What we wanted to do tonight, and I'm so sorry for the interruption, but God, you guys, 1606 strong, live watching right now. Thank you so much. Leave a comment, spread the love, follow us up. What this show is a mock draft show. We want to do a live simulation. We want to take input from you guys, and we got this esteemed draft panel right here. Between Scott and Ryan and myself, we've probably done 5,000 mock drafts, and I've done at least 12. So that tells you where it's weighted towards. We want to do this with you guys. If you guys here on the panel, I don't know if you're watching to see what we got going on. Otherwise, I'll tell you what's going on the old picker here, but we're on Pro Football Network's website. We are going to pick the Buffalo Bills. We are going to go 7 full rounds, and we're going to go at normal speed. For this one right here, we decided that we do no trades. Once we get through the full 7 rounds, then we'll get into some crazy first-round trade situations. But we wanted to kind of give you guys a realistic taste maybe of what we could find going through these 7 rounds here. So, if you want to play along, if you got any input, throw it to us in the comments and we'll get rolling. You guys ready to do this?
I'm ready. Born ready.
This is one of my favorite shows.
All right, we're in on the draft, and here we go. Caleb Williams, he gone. We got Drake, he gone. Jaden, 3 quarterbacks right off the top. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes to the Cardinals. Malik Neighbors to the Chargers. We got OT,
No surprises there, right?
edge. We got Adunze, he's gone to the Jets.
There's the top 3. Jets got him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We got Brian Thomas Jr. going 18th to the Bengals.
See, I love it because the Bengals went wide receiver. They should get a line to help out. And then so did the earlier, like the 3rd round pick, the Patriots. They need offensive line, and they definitely did not go that way. That's why those guys are picking so high.
Hell yeah. All right, boys, we are on the clock at 28 in the first round. I can help you out with a top list here. Anybody in the comments think of any position we'll need that we might need?
You can see a few on there. I see you guys I like.
Yeah. So what are you guys thinking here?
Well, I got to look at it real quick. Who do we have the top 5 right now, Swank?
Byron Murphy,
Top 5,
DT,
Byron Murphy,
yep,
Penix.
Michael Penix, yep, QB, Tyler Guton, offensive tackle. And then we got Mitchell, wide receiver, Texas, Xavier Worthy, Texas, Bo Nix, QB, Coleman from Florida State, wide receiver. Let's see, Kingsley Surasianta. I can't read that. Jordan Morgan. We got safety. What are you guys thinking here?
I'm thinking wide receiver.
I know where you're going, RT.
You going Worthy?
I'm thinking whatever out of the wide receivers that I'm looking at here. So just go, if you click offense, it will take you to wide receivers too. I am looking at that. So there's Adonai Mitchell, there's Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, and Ladd McConkey.
Yep.
Those are the top 4, and Troy Franklin as well. Obviously, picking 28, I would say the receivers that I like out of the top 3, we'll just say, I would say Adonai Mitchell out of those 3 is the one that stands out to me. When I've watched his tape, I've seen a lot of physical compliments to the guy that actually played alongside him, Xavier Worthy, who's known as like a burner. He ran a 4.21 40. Adonai Mitchell's kind of more of like a possession, move around receiver that can run in the slot, can run out wide, can do a little bit of everything. And he didn't even have the best quarterback play. So I think he'd obviously be leveling up in the case of quarterbacks if he were to come to Buffalo. So if it were me, I would go Adonai Mitchell here, just based on him still being available. He's listed at 31, Buffalo picking 28. That'd be my pick.
And I hate to sound like a homer and agree with you, RT, but I have to on this one. Adonai Mitchell not only is a good size wide receiver, 6+, 200+, he's got the best catching percentage in NCAA, and he's also got tied with Adunze as yards after catch. So all those things add up, all those things scream wide receiver 1, immediate impact day 1 for me. And it would be hard pressed. I'm a Brian Thomas fan. He fell obviously to the Bengals. You can't go wrong with Adonai Mitchell here. I agree.
All right. We got people calling for wide receiver in the comments. Doug says tight end. Doug, we're not doing that 2 years in a row. I'm sorry.
I can throw a little twist in there. I do like that the fact that who's the edge rusher that's still there? He fell. I have him ranked as my 21st ranked guy. Where is he?
Robinson?
Byron Murphy. He's actually he's a Tech 3, so he would complement.
I'm sorry. Yeah, DT.
He would complement Ed Oliver in this situation. A good rotational guy. He fell a little further than he wanted. I did not expect him to be still available, but you got to go wide receiver. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Jay Franklin actually said he'd want Murphy if this happened and trade up in the second for Leggett. He said he feels Murphy would be a run to the podium pick. Pressure up the middle is key to stopping great quarterbacks.
If they took Byron Murphy, I think to that point, if they took Byron Murphy, let's just say, I think Leggett would be there within the 50 to 55 to where they'd only have to move up 4 or 5 picks to take Xavier Legette. Now, I like Legette a lot. I do think that there's a lot of people on social media, though, kind of rating him a little bit higher, kind of like in the top 40 rather than the top 55. And I think that's just because it's such a wide receiver happy draft class, and we're a wide receiver starved fan base after this last week. But I'd look at all those receivers and say that Legette is probably the biggest project out of all of them, which doesn't, it's not a a criticism. It's just the fact that I think second round guy might take a little bit of grooming, but there's a lot of things to like about Xavier Legette physically. And he went through quite a lot in college. He lost both of his parents and was able to be like the man of the house, so to speak, from a distance, from, working through that. That had to be, obviously challenging, and he was still able to produce last season. So, I like the player. I just think that they wouldn't have to give up too much to go up and get him. He could potentially be there at 60. So
there you go.
So here's Uncle James kind of putting it bluntly. What is our most important need? So, I mean, where we're at right now, we all automatically went wide receiver, right? And to your point, Ryan, is that a condition that we've been made to believe? Like, we've been conditioned to think like we need this wide receiver right now because what the hell? Or is it, hey man, get a D-line guy that's going to solidify the trenches and then let's move on? Are we the grasshopper or are we the ant? You know what I mean? I'm wide receiver all day. I'm sorry. I want this over with. I think I just want the pain of it.
Well, you can make a case, Swank, too, that, I mean, obviously the Diggs chatter is why people want a wide receiver, but they didn't lose just Stephon Diggs. They lost Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. So, we had talked about Gabe Davis, last year. It was a really challenging year, and I think that they were right to kind of just let him test the market, wish you the best. It's just not, we're not going to pay you $13 million. We don't have it. And if we did, it's a little rich based off of last season's production. So I think that they need 2 wide receivers in this class, rather than, just one. And I can make a case. They went back to back defensive end, why not go back to back for wide receiver? I would not be against that at all.
All right. Well, I think the panel's in agreement that Adonai Mitchell is our pick. Correct, boys? Let's roll
Correct,
with it.
Swank.
And
before you
keep
click any buttons, look at the pick right after us. It looks like the Saints are willing to trade. So if we ever wanted to consider a trade option, I think they are actually pick number 14. So it looks like they're willing to trade back to around our spot for something.
All right. Here we go. We have our wide receiver 1. Patrick Hughes, he made a good little point here that we also lost Hardy. So that wide receiver room has been depleted for sure. I'd say the safety room also got depleted of a lot of veteran leadership. But
now, does the circle next to the Saints mean that that's their pick, or that they had traded up in this mock?
They traded to that pick.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
So
that's
they were picked. They traded to go to pick 29.
Well, now we're gonna take Adonai Mitchell from them.
Yeah, right. And the beautiful thing here, guys, is that this wide receiver, it's stacked this year. This draft for wide receiver. We're going to ignore trade options today.
Yes, we are.
So Legette went in the 40s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. To the Jags. Gabe Davis and Legette. Wow. And Zay Jones.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, they're heavy there. They're trying to get Trevor Lawrence to be a stud there. So we're pick 60. We've gone defensive end, right, one right after the next. I could see Buffalo Bills going wide receiver. Defensive line, Tech 3 defensive line and safety are also pretty good open areas to draft. Who do we got there?
Well, if you're looking at the top wide receivers available, Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky, he's ranked 63rd. Roman Wilson from Michigan. Ricky Pearsall, Jalen McMillan from Washington, Devontae Walker, North Carolina, Johnny Wilson from Florida State, Jermaine Burton, he's ranked 108. Malik Washington, 122. That's about your top 10 right there.
Let me see here. What pick in this mock did McConkey go?
I think he
Yeah,
was in the 40s as well. 42 to the
40s.
Texans.
42 to the Texans. Okay.
damn them.
They're going to replace Diggs already.
Yeah.
There you
They know
go.
they only have him for the next year.
They're going to replace Diggs real quick. Okay.
Let's
Joking
see.
aside.
We
So
got
to me personally, there's still a handful of wide receivers that are available. I know we don't have a third round pick, but some of these guys will last. Purcell is someone that I mocked in my second round for sure. Walker from North Carolina, a good option. But there's a guy I'm keeping my eye on. Excuse me, but it was Keon Coleman, a guy from Florida State. The guy that's next to him, Johnny Wilson, 6'6", 230 pounds, 4'5", 40. He not only has scouts from Buffalo that have been there, he's had interviews and he's had a visit. So the Bills like him. So I'm thinking that big 6'6", 230-pound guy could be someone down the road, 4th, 5th round that we can grab if he's still available. But again, there's good talent here in the second round. What are you guys thinking?
Ellen says wide receiver has to come first, then corner or safety, then O-line. I can see that.
I would move away from receiver
Yeah.
in this round or at this pick rather. Go to all and just see like top available players in general.
Yeah, I agree because there's plenty of receivers still left on that board that are
pretty good.
We got quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Then we have a running back, Trey Benson from Florida State, DT Rook or Horo. How do you say his name?
Or Hororo. He's from Clemson, 6'4", 294. He'd be a Tech 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in a different direction here, guys, and I want liberties taken from the fan base on this. Okay, so I'm looking at the draft as I usually do. As each pick, you're trying to get the most impactful player on either offense or defense. Whoever you think could be the guy that could come in and make the most impact with whatever role that you provide for him.
Mm-hmm.
This offseason to me was about building their offense, getting more weapons. Obviously, they traded Diggs away, but outside of that, I think they've done that with Curtis Samuel. The one area that I think that they have kind of been lacking in terms of adding to it is running back. And I know that James Cook is my guy. He's your guy. But Ty Johnson outside of James Cook, and then there's not really much outside of that. I would not be opposed to a Trey Benson or a Jonathan Brooks, who are looked at as the top two backs in this class in the second round. I would not. They've drafted running backs in the second round before, James Cook being one of them. I know that the running back position is kind of looked at as you don't want to go too high there. But if the impact is there, if the talent's there, I think it's a worthy pick. What do you guys think?
I believe both those guys have very high pass blocking rating, which is obviously a Buffalo Bills check off the box. They're both 4.3. Well, Benson's 4.39. The other guy's 4.4 something, so they're fast. I honestly didn't have a running back going until the third round, but we don't have a third round pick.
Right.
But he would fill that role. I mean, I know Ty Johnson came in for the like player as James Cook is. They're very similar. He got over 700 yards total offense last year, and they re-signed him, so he's effective. But we do need someone else who can play special teams, kick return, and possibly spell Cook. God forbid anything was to happen to Ty Johnson. So I can't see using a second pick for that. But if Trey Benson was available in the fourth round, I that would be a no-brainer for me.
From the standpoint that they could probably trade down and still get a Benson, there's a guy, Ray Davis, that I really like out of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I just think overall, whether we went with Trey Benson or Jonathan Brooks here or not, I think overall that's a position that should be talked about a lot more than it has been as far as a positional need for Buffalo, because everybody loves James Cook, and I do too. You guys know I love James Cook. I talked about him almost every week. But I feel like you always need insurance there. You always need somebody that can be, ready, willing, and able. Outside of that, I'd probably say defensive tackle or defensive end,
Yeah.
or maybe even linebacker, depending on the status of Matt Milano
Good point.
to start
good
the
point.
year.
For me, man, I'm not, and maybe this is again the years and years and years and years and years of the Bills like being said to like have needed these running backs, like these big named first round running backs or second round running backs, and for me, James Cook did that, and I'm just like not into sinking this high of a draft pick into a running back right now. I think I like where Jay Franklin's at here. Jesus, Franklin.
I like where Josh Cook's at too.
Where's he at? What's he got? Being a huge Irish fan, I'm hoping Audric Estimine. Is that his name? Estimine? Estimine?
Yes, to me, yeah.
Estimine in a later round. Nice. Yeah, Franklin's
He's
talking,
kind of in that 4th round range too, 4th, 5th.
Joseph Cordero saying, what about DT Brendan Frisky?
That is a potential right there. For real. He's a 290 pounder. He's a Tech 3, so obviously that's a position that we're looking for. Kicked ass on the RAS score. That's that athletic score, 9.97. He's from Florida State. Pretty darn impressive. Let me see. I got some stats on him real quick. RAS
He's
score,
ranked 67th on Pro Football Network right now. 6'3", 292. RAS is 9.89.
I don't mind the D tackle out of. I think he's in the top overall D tackle from Clemson. He's pretty good, but he is
a horror.
He just came in problem with are you talking about Tavondre Sweat from Texas?
No, it's
he's talking about Ruke or horror.
Yep.
Okay. 6'4", 294. Solid mass density, proportional length.
It's the guy that I'm thinking of. Is he?
Yeah,
he's from
Clemson. Yeah,
294. Yeah, 294.
That's the guy I couldn't pronounce. The horror.
They have Tyler Davis there too, who ranks right after him too.
Guys, big announcement.
I'm up for Ruke. I'm up for some Ruke.
Huge announcement. Huge announcement right now. Here we go, folks. We're in overtime. That's right, folks. It's 9:00. Thank you, Uncle Jane, for reminding me. Also, Patrick Hughes. So, Swank, does it still count as overtime if you take a break in the middle of the show? Yes.
It does, yeah. It does.
Paula Brown, overtime. Franklin says Fisk was great at Senior Bowl.
That's if we're going defensive lineman, I'm going Fisk. I'm going Florida State. He's 6'3", 292 pounds. Can't play the Tech 3, can't play the edge in a 4.25, so he could be bounced all over the place. And that RAS score, that 9.97, is pretty impressive. So I like him.
I
like him too.
I got his RAS at 9.89.
A little higher than what I got, or lower, just lower.
The Clemson dude,
he's at 9.92.
And maybe this is just me, but I like dudes that have been in winning programs. Like, I'm not shunning Florida State, but Florida State was shunned themselves, which was egregious. It was one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in college football recently, but among many other things. But I know that Clemson has been really good these last few years. Not as good as they were in the Trevor Lawrence era, but still got some good guys on that team, and he was one of them. So either way, I don't think either pick is bad, whether it's Fiske or
Rook.
I like them both.
And I'm going to bounce off here real quick off that RT. Sometimes with these linemen, offensive linemen, and these defensive linemen, when they're surrounded by round 1 talent, round 2 talent, they themselves look better
than what they are.
Clemson has a good defensive line. Florida State's done what they've done, and Fisk has been able to do what he's been able to do without a great defensive line. That kind of shows me a little more of a highlight than your guys over there. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think either way, you have that need, you gotta address it. I think that's their second biggest need outside of wide receiver.
Oh yeah, if we were Brandon Bean, we'd have lost our pick by now, guys. Because
we're way over. Good thing.
Minnesota Vikings, remember they ran out of time.
Yep. So
Rook or Fisk, what are we doing here? First one that says one or the other in the comments. Starting now. I saw Franklin's got Fisk in there. Actually, all I've seen is Fisk. Going him?
Go Frisky.
Oh, Scott did it. Scott did it. Fisk right there. There we go. Our second pick. Now we're waiting. We are waiting. We're waiting. While we're waiting, you can tune in here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the K-Gun Report on the Buff FamBase Network, sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money. It's a great deal. You know, great cause, great people. Oh, great times. We're only halfway through round 3.
I can't stand not having a third round.
Yeah.
They got screwed. There's no
They
other.
did.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, because that Tremaine Edmonds should have been a compensatory. Yeah,
Compensatory.
compensatory. Yes.
Compensatory.
Compensatory. Yeah.
Compensatory. Fisk.
So
Yeah, and when the Texans lose Stephon Diggs next year, they're not going to get one either.
Well, I don't care about that.
Because it was only a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
How about them apples?
How about that?
So we've got a wide receiver. We've got a defensive tackle. Both
Mhm.
positions we need. Both positions that'll definitely get some playing time in week 1. What's our next spot? I know a lot of people are pushing wide receiver again, and a lot of people are pushing safety. You can't have enough interior offensive line. You can't have enough corners. Cornerback has been a quiet conversation due to the fact that the wide receiver conversation built up the last 2 weeks.
I would say quarterback. No, I'm just kidding.
Franklin just put in this little message here. He said, "What do you guys think of taking a late round QB?"
I don't mind late round, not in the 4th round.
Yeah, no, not now. But yeah,
I'd take a flyer on my guy Sam Hartman out of Wake Forest / Notre Dame in the 7th. I'd take a flyer on that.
Oh yeah.
I'm going Milton, 6'5", 235 pounds.
Yeah,
plays a lot like Josh Allen. Has a rocket arm.
I like Milton too, but I think somebody's going to take him sooner than that.
All right, I'll tell you what, guys. If we have a spot at our spot 200 and Milton's still available, let's grab him. No questions asked.
Patrick Hughes wants to know if we can trade Ryan's Boston shirt for a 3rd round pick.
Unfortunately,
2027.
Probably trade it for less than that. Just a knockoff.
Let's see. Doug saying linebacker. Patrick saying center time.
It does say Boston baseball on it. I will say that. This does not say Boston football, nor will it ever. So just throwing that out there. Won't say Boston hockey. No.
All right, we got top 5 here. Well, it's a DT, Dwayne Carter. We're not going that way, I wouldn't believe.
Right.
We got safety from Wake Forest, Malik Mustafa. We got Jalix Hunt, edge rusher from Houston Christian. Jalen Wright, running back, Tennessee. Jalen Ford, linebacker, Texas. And then McCormick as a guard, South Dakota State.
Okay.
That's about where we're at.
What it is, man.
Brendan Rice is the next highest rated wide receiver from USC, 131 ranked.
That's the son of the GOAT,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. I'm just interested. I'm not saying we go with pick 4 for our wide receiver, but can you go see who the wide receivers that are left?
Well, sure I can. Brandon Rice, Jacob Cowing, Luke McCaffrey,
brother of Christian.
It is.
Son of Ed.
Taj Washington, Jalen Coker, Jaquan Jackson, Cornelius Johnson. That's 206 ranking.
Okay. Just curious.
Jalen Coker, is he out of UCF? Am I seeing that right?
Holy Cross.
Okay. Who's the dude out of UCF? Is he still there?
I don't see anybody from UCF.
You talking about Javon Baker?
I believe so. I can't think of his name.
He was a 3rd round, I believe.
Yeah, I don't see anybody.
Baker.
He's very Gabe Davis-esque. I mean, and I went to the same school, which is pretty odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Corrado saying, "What about safety Mustafia?"
I've seen tons of mock drafts grabbing this gentleman.
Yeah,
Mustafa. Tons of them. It doesn't matter what network you follow. If they do their mock, Mustafa, someone that's going like the 4th, 5th round. I don't know a whole bunch about him, but I know he's a popular name.
5'10", 209 with a RASA 9.38.
Okay, you got a good RAS.
Let's see. People are asking about wide receivers here. Brendan Rice, 6'2", 208, RASA 7.17. Rice became his clear.
Cole Bishop is a good one. Jay Franklin chimed in on that. I don't know if he's still there.
Cole Bishop out of Utah. Yep.
Yeah.
He's someone that the Bills scouted, the Bills interviewed, and he's been in for a visit. So they like what he does. He's a 4.45 safety, free safety, and strong safety, and he gets a bunch of tackles. He's one of the leading tacklers as far as safety goes.
Who's that we're looking at?
I said this on my podcast, and he's out of Dalton Kincaid University, Utah.
Is Cole Bishop available?
If he is, I'd tag him.
I don't see him. No.
Damn. So no. There's Vaki. I still see is still there. He's still available.
If Cole Bishop's not there, I would say, I can't say. Is it Taki Smith from Georgia, safety?
Yes.
He's there, and Malik.
Yep.
It's got to be one of those two.
Going safety.
That's my
I
take.
like it. All right, I like it.
Got to be one of those two.
What ranks do they have, Swank?
Malik
Malik's
is at 112, which would be a
Yeah.
steal right now, and Tyke Smith is at 148.
Ooh, that's low.
Malik, there's not a whole lot of info here on him, but he's 5'10", 209. High Ross, 9.3. Tyke.
What pick are we on? What's the overall of our pick?
Our overall is 128.
Oh, I think that the Malik pick would be good then, according to the rankings, right?
That would be a steal. I could say
Yeah.
Tyke Smith from Georgia was also interviewed, visited, and called by the Buffalo Bills 4.4340. He could play free safety and corner. You know how they like them. But you got to go with a guy that's a higher ranking if he's still there. Mustafa it is, I believe. I would think.
I'm there
Mustafa is the pick here, and then you keep your eye on Tyke and hope that maybe you can get two safeties out of this draft. You don't.
there you go.
You need more than one, I think.
Yeah,
my
sure.
favorite thing that Mustafa ever said was that
Run.
all of what the light touches is yours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Say it
Look
again.
into the stars.
All of what the light touches.
Look into the stars.
Simba.
I actually just watched that yesterday.
Simba.
You watched Lion King
I
yesterday?
did. I was flipping through the channels. I saw it. I was like, you know what?
Hell
Yeah, I'm
dude.
gonna do this. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Rafiki knows the way.
All right.
This is what I like about this section of our draft is that we have like 3 picks within the next 30.
Yeah,
which is
so we're
nice.
here on 133 already. Tyke is
Tyke
there.
is still available.
All right, let's check out the wide receiver.
Do we double
situation.
dip at safety here, or
You
do
got
we go wide out again?
Rice and
I mean-
McCaffrey are both still available wide receivers. I want to check out edge. Javon Solomon from Troy, Jonah Ellis, Cedric Johnson. I don't know if any of those names are
Jonah
tickling.
Ellis is okay. I don't mind Jonah Ellis.
He was injured all last year. He's from
Yeah.
Utah.
He had a good
So
junior or sophomore year.
he's about that size, 6'2",
Yeah.
250 pounds. So it's the size of the edge that they like. Solomon's from Troy. He's a good sized guy too. Shitload of sacks, but played for Troy. 82.5 sacks in his career.
Wow. It's
If you're on
crazy
the
how you're
smaller
just pulling
side-
this information right off the top of your head like that. It's nuts.
You know, I have a cheat sheet that I'm using. But he 6 foot, so he's on the smaller edge. Worried about length and arm length with that one. There's a guy that I do like. I've seen a lot of film on only because it was presented to me. Is this, you got to watch out for this guy. Still a little raw. Muhammad Kamara out of Colorado State. He's also one of those guys that gets good marks from the Bill scouting. 6'1", 248, 4.540. 4.540 speed around the edge.
He gets good marks from one primetime Deion Sanders as well.
Coach Prime.
Coach Brian.
So that's 152 for Muhammad Kamara. I'm not sure where he is on your list. I actually see him down there. Go to all again, Swank. I think he's like the 6th name on the list.
What's his name again?
Muhammad Kamara.
Any relation to Alvin?
No.
Muhammad
don't see
Kamara, right?
anybody.
Right. So he's not even there.
No.
So he
Might have went.
potentially he could be the guy. I thought I saw him though. I thought I
Well,
saw
he
him
might have
on
been. He's an edge rusher.
there. Edge rusher.
Yeah, right there, 187.
187. Wow.
So he could be a guy we can grab in the next
Right
pick.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So if he's go ahead,
sorry.
Swank.
No, I'm just saying overall here, Dwayne Carter, DT from Duke, is available. His ranking is 94. Jalen Ford, linebacker from Texas, 123. Mason McCormick, guard, South Dakota State 124. Ray Davis.
Texas had some good players on defense last year.
Yeah.
They were very good.
That Dwayne Carter, good size, 6'2", 303 pounds.
Mhm.
He can play the Tech 3 and on the outside edge in the 4-2-5, which is kind of the nickel.
My
that
guy
we
Ray
play.
Davis, Ray.
Ray's there. I'm telling you guys, my vote right now is to go for one of these guys with name pedigree. I know we have
Mhm.
2 picks in round 4. I know it doesn't mean just because they're related to these guys that maybe they're any good, but I would be real stoked to get Rice or McCaffrey, I think. I'm going with the Bosa fucking feeling. I'm going with all that pedigree. For me, I think I want to go Rice. Just because maybe Jerry Rice will show up to the stadium. Maybe that's all I want.
Well, it's funny. There is Rice, Jerry Rice's son, and then Luke McCaffrey put the Rice football team on his back. So to me, I mean, genetics are real in football.
Mhm.
They are. I mean, we've seen it. You mentioned the Bosas. Marvin Harrison Jr. is this draft is the
Mhm.
top rated wide receiver. So I think they're for real in terms of what they bring to the table. They were scouted. Rice, USC. Luke McCaffrey went to Rice, which isn't known as like a football powerhouse at all. But what he did there, I think schools that wish they would have got him. Had they scouted a little bit harder. So either one of those guys, I have taken those guys, in mocks, just playing around, of course. But if we're looking at just what we've done so far, is this the pick? Is this the round where we start to kind of play around a little bit? Or do we kind of stick to the needs and go that route? Which is kind of what we've done so far. We've stuck to the needs.
We've been very
drafted good
responsible
value.
so far. Yes.
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 Or do we start to just take a 4th round flyer on a Jerry Rice offspring or a Ed McCaffrey offspring? Got to throw out Ed.
Well, Ed,
he deserves some credit too.
If anything, both of them had very good work ethic, and you hope that that trait would fall down to those 2 guys. And why not, Swank? Let's go after Rice. Let's just do it.
We're
Swank
doing
wants
Rice. All right, guys. Jerry Rice's son. He's on the roster. Don't worry though. We got a pick coming right up at 144. We're going to be very responsible for this pick. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We're at 1973 live right now. Send it off to 27 of your friends. Tell them what's going on. Let's get this up over 2,000 when we're in overtime for the K-Gun Report mock draft special.
Oh, so, Luke went to Carolina.
Went to Carolina. Of course he
There he
did.
goes. There he goes.
Oh, all right. Let's see.
Right here, personally, I'm thinking Ray Davis, Kentucky running back, good sized guy, shitload of yards there. He spent a lot of time there. I think that'd be a good running back position. But I'm also worried that we're going to lose Kamara, the edge rusher that's got a lot of energy and a guy that could turn into something very special for Buffalo, I do believe. So it's up to you guys. I'm going running back.
Ray Davis went to Washington.
Yeah, Ray Davis went. Yeah, Washington, right?
Yep.
Damn them.
Yeah. So who was the other? Who were you?
What else do we got at running back?
Marshawn Lloyd is the next guy at 129 from USC. We got Isaiah Davis from South Dakota State, ranked 145 overall. Isaac Guerdo from Louisville, 160 overall. I would have to keep rolling.
I like Jalen Ford a lot out of Texas.
The Guerendo ran a 4.340. Jonathan Brooks, is that what you said?
Ford, linebacker.
Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Ford's a linebacker.
Could be a very smart move.
I think that we're in the 5th round.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this to reality. So the Bills have done very well taking linebackers in the 5th round. Right? Matt Milano. Right? Terrell Bernard, what round was he in? Is he a 4th or 5th? Or 3rd?
3rd, I believe.
3rd? Yeah, I thought he was the 3rd. So I think that you could make a case that there's depth to be added there. When Terrell Bernard went down, prior to the KC game, that really hurt. They lost Tyrell Dodson. They brought in Morrow, but if you listen to guys like Greg Cosell, who's on One Bills Live a lot, he doesn't seem to think too high of Greg Morrow, and Greg Cassell is a guy that watches a ton of tape, and just gave his opinion on what he did last year. Doesn't mean he won't be good this year. Sean McDermott's got like the ability to bring a lot out of players defensively. So I don't know. I like the linebacker out of Texas. I really do. They were really good last year defensively.
And if we're going best available, he's the next guy in line, right?
I was at the top.
I was looking here. We got Dorian Williams in the 3rd round last year.
They did.
Yeah, Bernard was 2 years ago.
Bernard was 2 years ago. Dorian Williams was last year, and
okay.
I love me some Dorian.
All right. So sorry, I was checking up on that because I was like, what? When did he go? So where are we at, guys? What were you looking for? I'm sorry. 2,000 viewers, by the way. Thank you guys so much. You fucking kick ass.
Nice. Jalen Ford is the top prospect right now. If we were going best available, he would be the guy there.
Best available would be him.
Yep.
Doing it.
And I like that strategy in this point.
Well, again, we don't know where Milano's at. I think that was a great point. We're being responsible. K-Gun is being responsible. And we got him. Linebacker. Let's see. As they roll through these picks, we have got Adonai Mitchell, our wide receiver 1 in their 1st round. We got Fisk in the 2nd round, DT out of Florida State. We got Mustafa, safety out of Wake Forest. We got our homer pick, Brendan Rice, wide receiver in the 4th. Was that a 4th round? Yeah, that was 4th round.
4th round, yeah.
And then Jalen Ford, linebacker out of Texas. And now here we are sitting at 160, round 5, our 2nd pick.
We got a couple coming in a row again, right? 160, 163. So we've got corner to address. We've got interior offensive line to address.
Is that edge rusher there that you wanted, Scott?
Kamara. I'd have to check. Swank, is Kamara available?
Yep, he's there. 187. He's ranked.
Whew. Okay. So he's still available.
Yeah,
he still is available. I think
he's the 4th.
we're safe.
4th.
We're safe to wait. You think? I think we're safe to wait.
We're safe to wait. So let's get like interior offensive line or cornerback right now.
All right. Can always use more corners. We got Jarvis Brownlee from Louisville, 173 ranking. Tareeb Still from Maryland, 188. DeAndre Prince, 193. Jarius Monroe from Tulane, 199. Nehemiah Pritchett from Auburn, 210. Willie Drew, 212. Virginia State. You want me to keep going? None of these are really blowing you guys' skirts up, I see.
Not really.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really jumping out at me.
Nothing in particular.
You gotta go offensive line, is that what you said?
Yeah, interior offensive line. Maybe even if we can narrow it down to center.
Yep, right there. Charles Turner III from LSU, 213. Ooh. Yeah, centers have gone, apparently. Drake Nugent from Michigan, 224. Kingsley Aguacan, 252 from Florida. Andrew Rame from Oklahoma, 263. These look like reaches at this point, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some big-time reaches there.
If you're going overall, we got Theo Johnson, tight end, 2 tight ends in the first 2 best available slots.
Okay.
Theo Johnson and Jarrod Wiley. Then we got a guard, Zach Zinter from Michigan, ranked 147.
There you go. He's a big guy, 6'6", 310 pounds. He could play right guard. He gets decent pass blocking and run blocking. I have him at the top of my list right here, but he's not the number 1 guard. He's just jumping out at me. And I'm seeing here that the Buffalo Bills have scouted him quite a bit. He has interviewed and he has shown up for done phone calls with them, just to throw that out there. And if he's available.
Here's another thing. Tyke is still there.
Oh,
Tyke, the safety, is still there?
Yes,
Georgia?
Thanks to Joseph Carrata. Jesus, I'm sorry, my eyes are going buggy. Cadero for bringing that to my attention, and I checked it out, and yes, he is right there from Georgia. Tyke Smith, safety.
I'm going Tyke.
I
with
can't
the
argue
Tai
with that.
Chi.
Here we go, doubling up. You got your second safety.
And I think what gets him is the fact that he can play free safety, corner, and nickel, so he could be bounced all over the place.
Here we are, 163. And
There's another safety that I really like that I'm on my own kind of looking to.
there's all sorts of safeties going on.
There's another
here.
safety that I really like.
I like some a lot. So like right now, I'm telling you, if Zinter or Kamara are available, I think we should go after one of those guys.
Zinter is available. Kamara, I can't imagine he's not. He is available.
Zach Zinter at 147.
Let me just see where we're at. Our next picks are at 200 and 204. So you got a decision to make here. You either going Kamara, he's ranked 187, or you're going Zinter 147.
You got to go Zinter here.
I think Zinter. I think you got to grab your offensive lineman here.
All right, here we go. Everybody in the comments agrees.
Zinter. The safety that I like is Kaitan Oladapo.
Kaitan Oladapo.
Out of Oregon State.
Kamara so far has not been picked. Kamara Watch 2024 on the mock. He's rising. He's rising. Will he last to 200? Oh boy.
Oladapo out of Jordan
there.
Poyer University.
There you go.
We'd have 3. If you think of it this way, we'd be drafting 3, on paper, it'd say S for safety next to their names. But I think a lot of these guys got some flexibility. They can play, Scooter mentioned free safety, corner safety.
Your boy's there. He made it to 200.
Kamara.
We going for it?
He made it.
Do it.
Smart pick. Value pick at 200.
Value pick. Yep. And we got someone else that we got 4 picks.
Yeah, now we're at 204.
So Swank, above there, you'll see a position of need. We've gotten wide receiver, we've gotten safety, we've gotten edge, interior offensive line, interior defensive line. Do we start playing best player available at this time?
Well, the best player available right now is a safety.
Is it Oladapo?
It's Williams.
Williams, okay. At this point, this is when we're picking 204, right?
Yes.
Okay. At this point, this is when you start to have the discussion of let's try to get some guys that are like blue chip late round flyers, potentially. And there is a guy in this class actually at wide receiver that I like, even though it's this late. Jordan Whittington.
Ranked 216. You're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Texas.
He's small. He's a slot guy, but I do see a little bit of Cole Beasley in that game. So I know Cole Beasley was really reliable for Josh Allen. That's why they brought him back, hoping that they could kind of reclaim that magic. I think there's a lot of ability there in the slot, especially. And they don't really have, they're accustomed. They had Beasley, then McKenzie. And they went from Hardy to Sherfield, kind of in that mold, not quite, but they weren't really the same as Beasley and McKenzie. So I'd like them to have a nice, fallback option at that spot.
Yeah.
Potentially. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, I'm okay. I don't think anybody would be upset with a 3 wide receiver draft this year. I don't think you'd get low grade. Is there anybody else going on here or no?
Where's Milton? Milton, the quarterback from Tennessee.
I think he got picked.
Go look at quarterbacks quick.
Maybe not.
I'm on there. I don't see him. Austin Reed is the top available, Western Kentucky.
He usually goes in the 6th round.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind, guys. We won't get our backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You could go with Sam Hartman. I might be a little early, but all-time college football career leader, passing touchdowns record was in reach.
There you go. I mean,
1 point.
Why not?
Well, he's ranked 245, and we have 204 and 248 left. So we can either take him now or we can risk it and take him next.
I say, I'm not really seeing anything else that jumps out at me outside of Whittington.
Right.
Go for it, Hartman.
Sam Hartman.
Quarterback of the future. Nah. backup quarterback that we're gonna trade bait like they did with all Tom Brady's quarterbacks.
I think potentially
the ladies and some men will probably agree that we have the two of the sexiest quarterbacks in the league.
Have you guys seen Sam Hartman? Like what he actually looks like?
No,
This dude is
heartthrob.
salon quality. This dude's got the flow for days.
Hey,
He
man.
has the he would immediately have the best hair at quarterback in the NFL. This dude's hair is glorious. Never seen anything like it.
As
There you go.
the guy that's trying to go for best hair on the K gun, I will challenge him any day.
Get a Google search. Share the screen. Google search Sam
Oh, I
Hartman.
got you, dude.
Show
We'll do
the
that.
world this guy's
Sure.
flow.
Oh,
We
we
might
got
gain,
one more.
we might
pick
gain
here.
1,000
One more pick.
viewers. We got one more pick.
All right, best available is Jamri Korma from James Madison, defensive tackle. We got Georgia running back Dejon Edwards, Prince Pines, guard from Tulane, Jaden Crumetti, DT, Mississippi State, Amani Bailey, running back TCU. You guys got a positional need? You got a home run? You got anything?
I've got a guy that at the top 5 who's got let's I like the best athlete at this time. Jamie Norson said that the best athlete.
Mhm.
So I usually judge the RAS score on that. But they probably don't have RAS scores on these guys. Are so far back.
Yeah, they do.
We've addressed everything.
Is Kingsley Agukun available? We're at 248, right?
Yeah.
You said 252.
Was he what position? I'm sorry.
OC, offensive. I think
Offensive center.
offensive center. Yeah.
No, he is not.
Damn.
We got Andrew Rame, Nick Gargajulo, CJ Hansen, Matt Lee.
You know what? Just throw the rankings out. Let's bring in some punter competition for Sam Martin.
Punter. Cam
Why
Little
not?
from Arkansas, baby. Is that your guy?
Is Ryan Rick
Oh, yes,
now
he's
available?
there. He's there. You want him?
Out of BYU, baby. He's bringing the boot from BYU.
Out of respect
Woohoo!
for RT. We
There
got
you go.
ourselves a punter. And here we go. And here it is. And we're finishing up. And
Move over, Matt Ariza.
Oh, the Jets have the last 2 picks in the whole
Last
draft.
2.
There you go.
Irrelevant's irrelevant.
Even Mr. Relevant is relevant.
There's a good chance that both of those picks will be offensive linemen.
I want to see Sam Hart.
Aaron Rodgers, man. If they don't get him some good linemen, they've invested in their
All right.
offensive line already, which is
I can
good
see
for them,
this.
but
This is the pick right here.
dude, look at that.
Yeah.
That is a handsome man right there. I
Relax,
move
dudes.
over Tom Brady, move over
Relax,
Josh
relax.
Allen. That's
Yeah.
the flow right there.
I'll challenge him to a hair
He,
off, dude.
he looks like Keanu Reeves from The Replacements.
But
Literally, just
but why?
I mean, he's got a bunch of hair on his arms too, so he looks like somebody that's just overwhelmed with hair. So unless you like that,
He's a
kind of
hairy
guy,
dude. I mean, I think most people.
Well, seriously, I wouldn't mind him as a backup. I mean,
I would
think-
not. I would not. I think he could potentially be just as good as Mitch in a year or two.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
there you
yeah. Just as better than Mitch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There
Sweet.
you go.
All right, guys. That's
Well,
our
we did.
draft for the evening here. We are at 9:30. Still at 2,081 live viewers. Thank you so much. I would really love to do like a trade scenario, but I think we're gonna just wrap her up here, guys, because it's getting damn late. So maybe next week tune in. We can run this a little bit more until we get to draft day. Don't forget we got a big draft show coming up, the 26th, 25th.
Yep.
Damn it. 25th. We'll have like a 4, maybe 5 hour show. Me and the Reed boys. We got RT calling in or chiming in or videoing in. We got some guests. We got some giveaways. We got some good shit. But for right now, let's hit some final thoughts here. What do you think, RT?
Final thoughts, judging off of that last draft that we just did, I think we approached it in a very professional, business savvy form and fashion, attacking the positional needs of the Buffalo Bills as well.
Is this a press conference?
As as well, sticking to the board, sticking to the rankings, sticking to our guns and getting that wide receiver round one. I like Adonai Mitchell a lot. I would hope that if those chips fall where they fall, that Adonai Mitchell would be the round one target. Maybe a Lad McConkey, no matter what. Lad McConkey on my no matter what list tomorrow night. He rounds out round two. Xavier Legette, any combination. If it was Thomas and Mitchell, obviously would be ecstatic. If it was Thomas and McConkey or any of those guys that are the four guys that I just mentioned, I'd be ecstatic. I don't know if the chips will fall that way. Maybe Brandon Beane will have a little bit of a sense of urgency to trade up into the higher picks there the second round to get one of those guys in the second round. Could be something to see. But tomorrow night, Thomas Take, 8:00 Wednesday, Buffalo FamBase. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Nicely done, dude. Thanks so much for hanging with us.
Of
One
course.
of our favorite people, of course, and you're welcome anytime. Right next to me up top here, Scooter Magoo. What do you got for a final thought, buddy?
Just amazing viewership again. So I want to thank the fan base, the Bills Mafia, for joining in and helping us do this draft. It was a solid draft. But come game day, come the 25th, the draft day, it's going to be an amazing draft show that we do. We love it. Like Swank said, everything we do giveaways and get you guys involved. So definitely can't wait for it. Keep your eyes open for the fan base on the FamBase Network. All these shows coming up. They're part of the fam. And join in the conversation for them. They love the fans' participation. And speaking of participation, thanks again for the Finger Lakes Mafia joining up. That group is to represent the Finger Lakes area and its Bills fans. And it's a large group that needs a little bit more recognition. It's a huge fan base. I've been a part of it for my whole life, and it's pretty amazing here. Lots to offer, and just keep it up. Keep joining, sharing, tagging, subscribing. Help us grow, build the base.
Nice. Guys, you killed it once again. We're at 2095 right now. Five more people to get to 2100. Why not? Oh, 4 more people. Here we go. You just tuned in for the last final thought of the whole show. Thank you guys so much for being so interactive, so supportive, throwing your comments, your jokes, your takes. Thanks for bearing with us with our little glitch there. We're at 2099, waiting for one more person. Come on, 2100. Why not, man? This has been the biggest season of the K-Gun's existence, and it's all thanks to you guys. Literally, what a great time. What a great panel. Had a blast. You guys can join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here for the K-Gun Report with myself, Jarrod, and Scooter Magooter. We're on YouTubes, we're on Twitters, we're on Facebooks, we're on all the socials. So go follow us over there. We say it all the time, and I think that this Stefon Diggs thing is the perfect example of it. It's one of the first things I texted to the boys when all the news came through, but I say, appreciate what you have, appreciate what we are, appreciate what this team is, where we've come, because things can change year to year, day to day. And, I do think two things can be true. I think that Diggs' time here could have been very epic and historic for the Buffalo Bills. And I also think that it was his time to leave. And I think both of those things can exist in the same realm and be true. And you can appreciate what he did and then move on. And that's what the Bills are doing. So keep that good thought, stay positive. Just go Bills.
Go Bills, guys. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go